One.
Hey everybody, so here's my plan. We're just going to go through some composition of functions and we'll start at the way very beginning and do some simple ones. And so watch what you need to, and I'm thinking that I'll make probably 3 different videos, ones with pretty darn simple and then moving on as we go. All right, so this one we start with f of x equals 9x plus 3 and g of x is x minus 3. So I'm going to pick red to be my f function. So I know that I'm going to take f and I'm going to plug the g in. So I'm just going to write 9, and instead of writing the x, I'm going to put a parentheses there, and I'm just going to do plus 3. And then I'm going to take my g function, which I'm going to make blue, is going to be x minus 3 over 9. So I just plugged that in. Now, something that you may or may not see that's super important that might catch you. This 9 out front is actually 9 over 1 because I'm multiplying it by a fraction, which is super important that you see that. Now, if that's the case, do you see anything in that first set of fractions that would cancel out? To which I would say, hopefully you see that 9 over 9 gives you 1. So you don't have to multiply that through, you just cancel that out. And so that would give me x minus 3 plus 3. And hey, look, minus 3 plus 3 cancels out. So when I plug g of x into f of x, everything canceled down to give me x. Hey, that's super nice. So that was using a concept from 1.4, which was doing that composition of the function, and then simplifying it down as far as we could, right? So then now I'm going to take and do the g function. Why am I doing that? Because if I went back and read the directions, it says confirm that f and g are inverses by showing that f of g of x equals x and that g of f of x equals x as well. So the whole goal, right now we just know that the goal is to get it all simplified down to x. In my mind, that makes it easier if I know that the ultimate goal is to get it to x. And if it doesn't work, then they're not inverses. But this says confirm that they are, so I'm just going to assume that it should go to x. That said, my g of x function is x minus 3 all over 9, okay? But I didn't actually write the x. I just wrote a parentheses because I'm going to plug in my f function there. So what is my f function? It's 9x plus 3. So now I look at that. I cannot, you may not right away just cross out those 9s. You have to get rid of, you have to deal with the plus 3 and the minus 3 first before you can do that. So this parentheses here right now around the 9x plus 3 doesn't really matter anymore because it's all of my like terms are combined in there. But plus 3 and negative 3, look at, they undo each other. So now I have 9x over 9. Would you agree with me that that simplifies down to x? Hopefully you see that 9 over 9 is 1. So that simplified to x. So when I plugged my g of x function into f of x, I got x. When I plugged my f of x into g of x, I also got x. That means, good news, they are inverses because that is the whole point of the process. So what does it mean by they're inverses? It means that they would reflect over the line y equals x and equal each other, right? So let's try one more in this video. Again, I'm going to turn it here. It says f of x equals x plus 4 over 6 and g of x equals 6x minus 4. If you want to just pause the video and try it on your own, I think that's a great choice to see if you could do it. This is a good place to start if the exit ticket question that I asked you today, that check-in question, if that was awful, this is a good place to start and see if you can do the more simple ones. All right, so I'm going to start with my f of x function, which I'm going to do in red. So instead of writing the x there, I'm going to write a parentheses plus 4, and it's all over 6. Then I'm going to take my blue and I'm going to take and plug in my whole g of x function, which is 6x minus 4. All right, do you see how anything simplifies out right away? You may not get rid of those 6's yet, okay? But you can do minus 4 plus 4 gives me 0. So now I've got 6x over 6. Because it says confirm that f and g are inverses by showing that the two compositions equal x, that's my goal. Does it work here? Yes. So there it is. Okay, now that I've done my f of x, you can't just stop. You have to make sure that your g of f of x works as well. So I'm going to write 6, then put a big parentheses. I'm not going to write the x in because I'm plugging something in there. And I'm going to plug in my f function, which is x plus 4 over 6. Maybe right away you made this 6 into a 6 over 1. You don't have to multiply that through. What I've seen as a mistake is that people multiply the top and the bottom by 6, but that's not what it's asking. It's 6 over 1. So look at 6 over 1 times x plus 4 over 6. Look at those 6's cancel. So I get x plus 4 minus 4. What happens with the plus 4 minus 4? They disappear, so I've got x. Yahoo! Yes, they work. So they both simplify down when I do the composition to x. That's great. So those are inverses. All right, I'm going to stop on this video there. Hopefully that helps a bit so you could go back in and do some of your early questions in 1.4 or 1.4.2.